second of two sessions on Hebrews 11:6, and I'll just recite again the verse to you as we get started. It says, "Without faith it's impossible to please God, for whoever would draw near to God must believe that He exists and that He is the rewarder of those who seek Him." It's that last part that we want to talk about in this session, that God is ready and eager to reward us, but we must understand that we play a role, that we are co-workers with God, and God is waiting to reward us when we seek Him. Our seeking of God is essential to seeing Him move. We can't just sit back in our spiritual chairs and say, "Okay, God, I'm just waiting for you to bring the day where you're going to really just transform my church. God, I'm just waiting for the day when I'm just going to be able to start being victorious over this sin in my life. God, I'm just waiting till you're going to bring a great revival to my city or our nation." That's not the way that the Lord works. Occasionally, God will work in a unilateral way, but it's very infrequent in the scriptures that He does that. And this definition of faith would say that that actually violates what the faith relationship and the way that God works on a regular basis as His normal practice. So God's inviting us in to seek after Him with all of our heart, soul, mind, and strength. You know, I learned this lesson really not from reading in the Bible. I had read that verse many times. I learned this verse and the importance of seeking God because of practice. And not because I was so great that I decided, hey, I'm going to really start seeking God so much more. It was because I happened to be a part of a ministry where our leader said, we're going to begin praying 2 hours every day. And that was an abrupt change for almost everybody on the ministry team. And yet it's what we covenanted to do together. And not only just in prayer, but we spent times fasting together. We spent times poring over God's Word together. A lot of us changed things in our lives to be a little bit more diligent about the things that we were doing and bring them under the lordship of Jesus Christ in every aspect of our lives. We were seeking God in lots of prayer, but also with our entire lives. And over a 6-month period, many of our lives were dramatically changed. I know that I was closer to the Lord at that point than all my years of ministry, seminary, mission trips, anything else I had ever done. And it's no wonder, isn't it? And not only that, but about 6 months after the process began of us seeking God through prayer and those 2 hours and all the other things that we did, we saw a breaking point in our ministry in such a wonderful way. It happened one night out of the blue, not planned, when we had our normal hour-and-a-half meeting scheduled, and we didn't leave that room until midnight, 5 hours later. And people were praising God like they had never praised God before. They were falling on their faces, standing up and praising Him, clapping, celebrating, confessing their sins, asking for prayer, praying all over each other, praying, just one after the other, after the other, after the other. You just couldn't contain what was going on in the hearts and lives of these people. And it was awesome. And then from that point, God just started doing more and more and more in our ministry in terms of growing the numbers, in terms of deepening people's spiritual lives, in terms of even seeing miracles happen. It was amazing what God did, and it's left me changed ever since. And now my favorite thing about the Christian life is just seeing what God will do, just believing Him for more and seeking Him even more. And that's what the definition of faith and what God is looking for in our day. I encourage you to go after it with all your heart.